Okay, several people have asked me lately about how we make the dog treats, so this is one idea we have, or one version. This is a lamb's heart here. As you can see, there's a lot of fatty stuff here. This is what we have to remove, and basically that muscle is all good quality protein, nutrition for the dogs, and it's excellent in treats, probably better than the stuff you buy in the shops. So what you do is you cut off most of the fat like that, discard all of that, and then the actual good meat you've got, which is here, as you can see, you cut it up, you just cut it up into little thin rings like so, all the way across the heart, and then just break it up, cut it up further into the little pieces like this. Then you simply rinse it and dry it, and then it's ready to go in the dehydrator, which I'll show later. I've got some other things I'm going to prepare, which is beef heart and lamb's liver, so watch this space. If the idea of a whole heart is a little bit daunting, you can actually buy it obviously in supermarkets. Here's an example that comes from a well-known supermarket. This is beef heart. The advantage of beef heart is it's already in slices pretty much, so there's much less fat to remove, and of course it's much easier to slice. A little tip is what I find works well is if you actually partially freeze it for about 3 hours before cutting it. It makes life much easier and less messy to cut. This is about the sort of size you want to be cutting your pieces to. It does obviously shrink quite a lot in the dehydrator, so don't be frightened if you think that's quite big for a dog treat. You'll see the end result later. That's approximately £2.50's worth of combination of beef, the heart and the lamb heart there, all mixed in together, ready to be chilled and then clean, dried, and then put in the dehydrator tomorrow morning, because dehydrator will take about 8 hours to do that lot. Moving on now, here we have another popular one with the dogs, and this is actually liver. Now previously we've done chicken liver. This is beef liver, which we haven't done before, but as you can see it is so cheap in the big supermarkets. For 1.7 kilograms it's £1, and you'll get an awful lot of treats out of that, and they're good quality treats. The beef's liver laid out, as you can see, it's quite flat, and it's actually quite tough compared to the heart. Again, you need to cut it up into slices around about that sort of size. This does shrink quite a lot when heated, and it's also a very slimy substance to work with. In actual fact, it's better than the chicken's livers, because chicken's livers tend to feel like they're disintegrating on you. This looks like it'll be a bit firmer to work with, so we'll see how we go. Right, here's the meat laid out on the first layer of the dehydrator. I always start from the bottom layer and then work up and get all the layers built up, and then turn it on for about 8 hours. So there's the dehydrator now, all loaded up with the lamb at the bottom, because that's the one that will probably drip the most and actually needs a bit more cooking than the heart. And the various, obviously the lamb and the beef's heart all on top there. We'll switch it on, we'll set it up there as you can see to 70 degrees. We'll switch it on and we'll leave it for 8 hours. Okay, due to the amount that's in there, after 10.5 hours they're now ready. Normally it takes 8 hours if you're just doing a couple of shelves. So after 10.5 hours at 70 degrees centigrade, this is what they look like. On the top here is, this looks like the liver. On the next shelf down, oh actually no, that's some of the heart actually, that is. As you can see, the next shelf down there's the liver. Now if you don't cook it enough it can go rubbery. As you can see from this, it's pretty good. There's no rubbery there, it's just starting to dry out, so that's absolutely perfect on the liver. There's the next shelf, or the next tier, with some heart in it. That's the mixture of lamb and heart, and there's your mixture of, there's more heart already. That's a sort of mess you get in the bottom you have to clear up with afterwards, but it's not the end of the world. The next stage is to take all of the treats you're making, and the essential part is now to put it into a preheated oven at 160 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. This just kills off any remnant bacteria that may well be in it. and then your treats are done. So here you have it, 10 minutes later after 160 degrees in the oven, some nice healthy treats for your dog. A mixture there of beef heart, lamb's liver and beef's liver. Can be kept for quite a while in the fridge, or I see no reason why you couldn't actually freeze it in, keep it in the smaller portions if you want. Anyway, that's how simple it is. Enjoy.